Well, welcome back everyone to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. We have some more subscribers to celebrate. Again, just for those of you who are just tuning in, this number is just to celebrate you. It's not to talk about me. It's just to let you know that I appreciate every single one of you who have subscribed to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some cards that have been moving up and what I think are cards that are being spec'd on for Monarch. And we're trying to get all the Monarch hype that we can right now without spoiler season. As we prepare towards spoiler season, everyone's excited and a lot of people are spec'ing on some specific cards. And I keep seeing people ask in the Facebook channels, why is this card going up? It's not being played. And the answer to that is that there are a few cards that people are spec'ing on. And what spec'ing means is like, I don't know, it's spec'ing, right? Like, you know what it means. What spec'ing means is that you're looking for the card to increase as a result of something unknown. And so I thought it'd be fun to sit down and talk about a couple of cards. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards for you that people, I believe, are spec'ing on as a result of thinking about what could be in Monarch. Now, before we get anywhere, a few things. We're in this backdrop because I didn't want this to be just about the financial stuff. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the card, and anytime I'm looking at the computer, it ends up being a little bit more financial conversation. So I wanted to make this more just like about the gameplay and that kind of thing. And then second of all, everything I'm saying right now is just my opinion on what is happening, and I could be wrong about why the cards are spec'ing. And this should not be taken as advice to go and buy the cards unless you want to hop in on the spec'ing, because I think there is some things to be taken. But again, this is just for fun. Don't take my like investment advice or anything. And these are in no particular order. They're in the order that I grabbed them out of my binder. So the first card that I think has been being spec'd on for a long time is Cash In. And Cash In is a generic action card that basically you can destroy copper or silver or gold in order to draw cards. And the copper cost is 4, the silver cost is 2, and the gold cost is 1. If you've watched any of my gameplay videos, I play a Cash In deck, and basically you are generating copper tokens in order to cash in and get 2 additional cards to have a massive turn. So it's kind of like a setup deck, right? And the idea of this card, the reason that people are spec'ing on this card is simply the fact of if they start printing, right now you can't really even get any silver or gold. So if you do get silver or gold and get more ways of getting silver or gold, like Spoils of War creates copper tokens. So if there's a card that creates a gold token, then all of a sudden Cash In can get played in more decks. And that makes it better. So there's a big spec, and Cash In's not even really a Monarch spec. The people I see that are investing in it are spec'ing long term. They're thinking beyond Monarch into Kingdoms, into the future of the game, utilizing the money, the financial side of things. And here's the thing about that. I don't know that this Cash In decks, these fringe decks, will ever be like meta decks. I don't know about that, but if it does get more support, and like, why would they print silver or gold tokens if it wasn't going to get more support? And so I think there's a lot to be said about that one, but I don't think it will ever be a meta deck. Like, I don't think it's ever going to be like a top #1 played card, but that is what it is. The next cards, let's continue. Yeah, let's go this way. The next 3 cards are all going to be Runeblade cards, and Runeblade seems to be one of those potential Monarch themes. It fits in the theme of darkness, right? And it fits in a lot of things in terms of what we think Monarch might happen. And if I was a betting man, and if I believed that Monarch was going to have only the same classes, only the same 8 classes, main 8 classes, then I would bet that Runeblade would be one of those classes based on the artwork we've seen and just overall the light and dark. Runeblade definitely seems like it is a dark class, right? And so these 3 cards, we'll start at number 1 is Dread Triptych. And I don't know that this is a really big targeted one right now, but I'm kind of lumping all these Runeblade cards into the same thing. Dread Triptych, if you played a non-attack action card this turn, you create a Rune Chant token. If you've dealt arcane damage this turn, create a Rune Chant token. And if Dread Triptych hits, create a Rune Chant token. So it's an attack action card. And again, like the Rune Chants, it's all kind of generation. And again, Runeblade could move forward. And then the next one is Rattlebones. Actually, I'm going to use Runeblood Barrier first. Runeblood Barrier, this is a card I talked about quite a bit. It's jumped up a ton in the last couple weeks. Create 4 rune chant tokens. If your hero would be dealt damage, instead destroy that many rune chants you control and prevent 1 damage the source would deal for each rune chant destroyed this way. At the beginning of your action phase, you destroy Runeblood Barrier. So again, Runeblood Barrier, one of those kind of key cards in the deck that is an OTK Viserai deck, right? So again, as those decks start to see potentially entering Fringe, and if they get a boost with Monarch, a lot of people are kind of speculating on that. And then Rattlebones, banish target Runeblade attack action card from your graveyard, okay? You may play it this turn. If you've dealt any arcane damage to an opposing hero this turn, you may play Rattlebones as if it were an instant. So Rattlebones, that kind of keyword graveyard is kind of up in the air because I think a lot of people think that we're going to get some sort of necromancer. Now, I personally believe that Runeblade is already kind of a necromantic feel to it. So that's why I think instead of getting a class of a necromancer, maybe Runeblade is just the necromancer. I could be very wrong though. Again, this is all speculation about other people's speculation. So keep that in mind, right? So I think all those Runeblade cards have a lot of potential, but the key word there in graveyard I think makes Rattlebones a little even more interesting. And we'll get into those other keywords next. The next keyword is Arsenal, okay? So Arsenal picks up in Command and Conquer, and we've been seeing Command and Conquer move for a couple of weeks now, not only because of Monarch, but because the card is really good, and it was just a little bit undervalued compared to like Enlightened Strike. And as we've seen skirmish decks pop in, we've seen Command and Conquer more and more and more utilized on a lot of different decks. You know, Command and Conquer is a generic card. Defense action cards can't be played to Command and Conquer's chain link, and here's the key. If Command and Conquer hits a hero, destroy all cards in their arsenal. So the word arsenal is really important because what we know about Monarch, some of the things we know about Monarch, one of them is that we've been told that it will kind of finish the game, that right now what we are seeing is a half of the game, or not a full completed game of Flesh and Blood, but once Monarch comes around, we will see the whole encompassing thing. And one of the things people always allude to is Command and Conquer, saying the word all cards in the arsenal. And if that basically what that means is that potentially you could have more than one card in your arsenal, in which case that would probably happen with Monarch, right? That would be the big set that's changing the game a little bit. And so all of a sudden Command and Conquer goes from destroying one card in the arsenal to all of them, and that's a big difference. It makes Command and Conquer stronger, but it also makes Ranger way better. If Ranger is able to put more and more arrows into their arsenal and then kind of shoot a bunch of arrows, one and boom, it makes Ranger way better. So a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of the Ranger cards moving up and up in price. So that's Feigned Death. If play Feigned Death only if you've been dealt damage this turn. The next time you'd be dealt damage this turn, prevent it. It's like a fog effect from Magic the Gathering. And Feigned Death is a Ranger card. It's a Ranger instant. Poison the tips until the end of the turn. Your heroes you control gain. If this hits a hero, they discard a card. It also has reload. If you have no cards in your arsenal, you may put a card from your hand face down into your arsenal and go again. So again, another word, keyword there of talking about the arsenal. And then Remorseless. If Remorseless is put into your arsenal face up till the end of turn, it gains defense reactions, can't be played from the arsenal to Remorseless's chain link. If Remorseless hits a hero until the end of their next turn, whenever they play an action card, they lose one, I guess that's life. Yeah, life. So Remorseless, another card that has that keyword arsenal, and then it's a Ranger card. So the other Ranger card that I think I've seen spiking is Skullbone Crosswrap, right? We've seen the unlimited version go from like $80 to $90 up to $140, and we've seen the cold foil version go from one of the lower value cold foils spiking up $600 or $700 into kind of the average range of the other cold foils. So Skullbone Crosswrap, I don't own one, so I didn't have the card. So, and then the other card that I'm seeing spike quite a bit is Spoils of War. And I left this for the end because Spoils of War, I don't anticipate is being targeted as a Monarch, unless it's so here's what it says. Your next weapon attack, it's a warrior action. Your next weapon attack gains +2 and go again. Whenever your weapon you control hits this turn, created 2 copper tokens, and it has go again. And so here's the thing, it does talk about copper tokens, which is important because again, if the money theme gets more pushing, then this card will just be better. If copper tokens, gold, whatever, do more, then that card will get better. But here's what I really think. I think that Spoils of War is more a result of Skirmish than it is anything. In Skirmish, what it's done is it's provided us with a lot of deck lists, a lot of gameplay content, a lot of great streamers. Shout out to Rob at Tolarian Dropouts. A lot of great streamers, streaming decks, Tower number 9 streaming decks, and this has caused us all to kind of look at meta decks a little bit deeper. And Spoils of War is a really, 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 really good card in Warrior, and so I think that's more of what the reason is as opposed to Monarch. But I did think it was very interesting that it does still have a little bit of Monarch hype with that last bit about the copper token. So let me know in the comments if you think that there are other cards that people are targeting. I mean, Drone of Brutality, that has nothing to do with Monarch. But let me know if there's other cards that you think that people are maybe targeting as a result of Monarch. If you're here watching the video, you might benefit by going to the comments. Remember, I'm just one person who just sees the market in my own lens, in my own eyes. So I would never say that I know everything about the game or that I see everything, but doing all this market data has helped me to kind of generate some ideas as I'm looking it all up. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Remember to be kind to the people around you. Keep your eye out for some Monarch pre-orders. I think they're coming pretty soon. Yeah.